Hello YouTube, it's your boy WW2KTV back in another video here. If you guys don't enjoy, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and check out my Twitch TV, which is the Underrated Food Clan, and check out my boys website, which is oggenerator.com. If you guys wouldn't mind. One of the most hard-hitting builds. There's one more out there that I have not shared and I have not seen it anywhere else, but this one has not been posted. I don't believe so. Don't quote me on it, but it is a speedrun build. I kept it from people because I personally use it and it's one of my second favorite builds. Now in a raid synergy, it's one of the best builds to get the raid done, the fastest build, okay? It's either the M1A Rifleman, which personally when you're speed running, you want to run double rifles. So for example, this is when I'm not speed running. I usually run an AR with some groups, but let me get my other rifle here. It's either this one, or this one. And now the real thing is you want to run 2 people with firewall when speed running, 2 people with grenade launcher, 2 people with attack 50, and 2 people with a crossbow. Now the reason why is because you get bonuses for crossbow. Crossbow gives you, if you're a status build, 10% extra bonus damage. Firewall gives you an extra 10 within, I think I said 10-15 meters. Grenade launcher gives you 5 damage out of cover. Attack 50 gives you 10 damage to headshots. Now, my personal opinion, I know how people feel about glass cannon. Glass cannon, yes, you do take a lot more damage, but when your whole group is doing the same amount of damage, and literally, you don't go down. Like, I literally do missions with my clan all the time with perfect glass cannon, and we go down maybe once. Maybe once or twice max. Now, this is a 207 crit build with foxes and contractors. I just want to put it out there. In a raid synergy, you will be hitting like a fucking truck. I don't care if you have 220 crit damage, anything. I've done testings without foxes and contractors with more crit damage and more crit chance, and I hit less than what I do with this build in my other build that I'm not going to get into right now. But yeah, 207 crit damage, 48. So yeah, basically the reason why you run like between 40 and 50 is because usually most groups run at least 2 to 3 coyotes. We try to run at least 2 to 3. So in reality, I'm hitting harder than a 220 crit build, even though you got like 250 crit damage, because I'm pushing like 220 with 3 coyotes, 2 almost, somewhere in that range. So in reality, if you make this build, basically when you go and post on raids, no one's gonna question your build. Every time I go on a post, someone looks at my build. And they're looking at they're like, damn, bro, he got a real solid build. They're looking at like, they don't even ask me questions. They put me in a position and I do my job, basically. That's all. We get it done. We get the shit done. Now I'm gonna tell you this right now. For Razorback, alright, this is the build I use for Razorback, and I'm just gonna point this out here, y'all. When you get a good solid team, right? This is what happens when you have a good solid build. This is my favorite build for Razor. The build I ran all the way through Dark Hour. I've changed this time with this build. I used one other build with this, but it was mostly this build. He was part of the group, yes. He was part of the group, yes. He was part of the group, but we all don't play together anymore. Something happened between us that I don't even know how it came across them. But yeah. If you guys are looking for a clan, let me know. I'm looking for new people that know how to do the raid 1 and raid 2. We are 959 in the world, it looks like, for clan XP. Now let's get into the pieces individually here. Sorry for all the talking. This piece is probably going to be the hardest for you guys to obtain. It was hard for me to obtain. Alright, vigilance. Vigilance with all crit chance, crit damage. Contractors with as much weapon damage as possible. The only upgrade I can do is a better chest and gloves, really. Foxes, which give you that multiplicative damage on top of the multiplicative from the gun, on top of the multiplicative from the grenade launcher from your teammate in your subgroup. So you're getting 10, 18, plus another 5. 18, 19, 20, 20. about 24 to 25 damage at a cover. And that's on top of Rifleman with Boomerang. For example, if you're running one of these two or both of them. On top of Perfect Glass Cannon. On top of more crit damage and crit chance and weapon damage. And more crit chance and crit damage and weapon damage. Like, this build in my eyes, literally, on Razorback, I can do the front wing by myself. But the only difference is I have to change a few pieces, and I'll get into that one later if somebody actually does want me to post a Razor build. It's similar to this one, but the crit chance and crit damage is a little bit lower with the Hollow Man. That's it. A few different changes, that's all it is. But this one works best for Boss 3, I would say. Boss 3 and Boss 1. Now we're gonna go into the why we chose the Crusader Shield, but you don't have to use the Crusader Shield. You do not have to know. You still get 10% damage per the group just for running the specialization, but because I run this shield, I get an extra 5 damage to enemies just for running the shield. Now most of the time I do run another build depending on the group I'm with. If I'm with a really solid group, I'll run this build. And I played with them and I feel comfortable with them, you know. And I run a Reviver High because it's just a need when you have Glass Cannon on. Now, let's take into consideration here that when we're in a group synergy, for example here, let me put this within 5 meters here because you know most people don't shoot that far. It's on heroic. Yep. I just want to put out there my world is on normal because when you go into raid, you want to make sure your world is on normal. If your world is not on normal, the raid will be heroic. So you see, I'm almost in for 5 mil a shot, right? 5 mil a shot, okay? Now, just imagine that with opportunistic, overwatch, a status build, 2 grenade launchers, 2 firewalls, 2 tech 50s with headshot damage, extra headshot damage, and not to mention 3 coyote mask. Like, this build can put in work in the raid. It's one of my favorites. I have one other build that is another favorite of mine, but I'm not releasing that one yet because it hits harder than this one. It hits for about 7 mil with just opportunistic. Yeah, that one is a little later video for this year because I have not seen anybody post one. I'm gonna post it in maybe a few more, maybe a month or so. I'm gonna use it up a little more before I post it and the developers can see it. But yeah, you're hitting for about 5 mil. I personally think that this is gonna be one of the talents they do nerf. But personally, amplified damage by 30% and you take in is 60%. Personally, I think the perfect talent should, for example, how regular Glass Cannon takes, let's go to it here. You take 50%, 25% of all damage you take is amplified by 50%. So it should be the non-perfect talent should take more damage, and the perfect one should take 30% less than. For example, I'm doing 30% damage. I should be getting 20% damage token. Because it's a perfect talent. You want to run, if they want us people to run perfect talents more, they might want to reconsider not taking 60, do 30. 30 or 25. 20 is being generous, but maybe 25 damage taken. I personally think 20 would get more people to use Glass Cannon. But yeah, the build hits. You guys seen it in the shooting range here. This gun you need to get headshots though. Because it is Rifleman. Now Boomerang here. So you guys seen the build in action. You guys might want to make yourself one of these before they do nerf this build. Which the main key is this right here and this. Like, this build is one of my best builds. It's not my best build though. If you guys enjoyed, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment what you think about this build. Tell me what you think. If you think they should take the perfect talents that take weapon damage like glass cannon and dumb them down to half of what the damage you take is, cut it in half. If you do think that's a good idea, you might want to shoot out to the developers and send them this video, because that person I think is a good idea. Is the more perfect talents we have, the less damage we take. Like, especially glass cannon, you should be taking more damage to deal more damage. You should be taking less damage to deal more damage. That's just a personal opinion of mine. And if you guys want to check any of the other videos out that I have for builds, I have 3 builds up so far. And those are a Nemesis build and a stagger tank for Morzova. This could be used on boss 1 and 3 on raid 2. This is WWT